Paul opened his eyes, but he was no longer on land. He was beneath the ocean. He was not drowning. He was not dead. Heavy chains glowed around his hands and legs. Before him stood a throne carved from dark coral, and the water itself felt alive. Paul struggled and whispered, "God, where am I?" A calm, cold voice replied,
You are where destinies are claimed and where destinies are buried.
Suddenly, a violent force pulled him forward. He was dragged deeper, faster, helpless. The water grew darker. Then a strange golden blue light appeared ahead. Paul's eyes widened in terror. Before him stood a massive underwater palace, tall pillars carved from coral, walls glowing with strange symbols. The ground beneath him shimmered like glass. Paul was thrown forward and landed hard. He lifted his head slowly. His heart almost stopped. Seated on a grand throne were two figures, a king and a queen. The king sat upright, his body wrapped in deep royal blue. Heavy beads hung around his neck. In his hand rested a carved royal horn, held like a weapon. His eyes were dark, unforgiving. Beside him sat the queen. Dressed in rich red, layers of coral beads covered her chest. Her face was calm, but cruel. They did not speak at first. They only watched Paul, judging him, measuring him. Paul trembled violently. "Please," he whispered, "where am I?" The king finally spoke. His voice was deep, slow.
Stand before the throne of the deep, the kingdom beneath the living.
You belong to us now. No going back.
I didn't come here by choice. Please, let me go. I have done nothing wrong. Leave me alone.
Paul shook his head desperately. The queen smiled faintly. "No one ever does." The king stood up. The water around the palace trembled. "You ran from the surface," he said. "You abandoned protection. And you fell into our reach." Paul's body shook harder. "I was afraid," he cried. "I didn't know." The queen rose slowly from her throne. She walked toward him. Each step echoed through the water. "You knew enough," she said. "You saw the truth and still turned away." Paul crawled backward. Tears streamed from his eyes. "Please, let me go." The king raised the royal horn slightly. A low vibration filled the ocean. From the shadows, mermaids emerged. They surrounded Paul. "This soul has been mocked," the king declared. "The household covenant has claimed him." Paul screamed silently, "No, I belong to God." The queen stopped in front of him. She bent slightly and looked directly into his eyes. "Many said the same thing," she whispered, "and they all sit with us now." Paul cried out in his spirit, "Jesus, save me." The king turned away. His voice was final. "Take him to the deep chambers." The mermaids grabbed Paul. He struggled. He kicked. But their grip was unbreakable. As they dragged him away, Paul looked back. The king and queen had returned to their thrones, watching, satisfied. The palace lights dimmed. The whispers grew louder. The darkness closed in. Paul's strength faded, and as he was pulled into the shadows, one thought burned in his mind. He was not just captured, he was judged. Everything went silent.